What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Coach Steve Show podcast. Today, we are going to talk about a very dear topic that is going to get me fired up. I'm fired up. I was not going to do this episode today. I had something else planned, but I saw something on social media, of course, so it got me a little bit fired up, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Kobe Bryant being better than LeBron James. Yes, it is true. He is better. R.I.P. Kobe Bryant was better than LeBron James. Before we dive into that hot take topic, please like and subscribe to the Coach Steve Show YouTube channel. Find the podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. Follow it, rate it, leave a review, be a friend, tell a friend. If you don't like it, then pretend it never happened. But please do that for me. Take that moment out of your day, just a minute of your day to do that for me. It helps out the algorithm and gets more eyes and ears on the podcast. I appreciate it so much. The podcast is brought to you by the Belly Up Sports Network. If you go to bellyupsports.com, check out all the great podcasts. There's tons of shows, tons of blogs. Be a part of the movement of Belly Up Sports, all the Belly Up media out there. There's more than just sports out there. There's podcasts and blogs out there for everybody. Betting season is in full swing. If you head over to mybookie.ag to make your same game parlays, in-game bets, money lines, you'll even get to bet on where Jim Harbaugh might be the head football coach next year, whether it's Michigan, the Bears, the Raiders, anything else. You could bet on anything. So if it's your very first time at MyBookie, go to mybookie.ag. Use the code BELLYUPFANTASY, all one word. It's going to double your first deposit. That is free money. Who does not like free money? You could use that money to bet on the people that think that Kobe Bryant is not in the top 10. Yes, we will get to that as well. But mybookie.ag, BELLYUPFANTASY, all one word. It's going to double your first deposit. Go do that for me. It helps supports the Belly Up podcasts out there in the Belly Up Sports Network. This podcast is also brought to you by Coach Stone Football and his Back to the Basics books and drills. His very first book is over 600 pages of drills. Yes, 500 to 600 pages of drills that you can use for high school, college, youth, anything. So if you go to CoachStoneFootball.com and check out all of his books on football drills, practice planning, game planning, offense, defense, strength and conditioning, and much, much more, you will never have to look up another drill again. Thank you, Coach Stone, for sponsoring the podcast. If you're also looking for a drink to help with that midday pick-me-up but don't want the crash that happens after about an hour or so, or just even something for a pre-workout before the gym without the jitters, if you go to SwiftLifestyles.com, you're going to get just that. It's a clean, nutritional drink for any part of your day or for the gym. If you go to SwiftLifestyles.com and use the code CoachSteveShow, all one word, you're going to get 15% off your order. It comes in a tub of 30 servings. If you need a shaker, there's a shaker on there as well. You need workout clothes. They've got on there for you as well. There's not a lot of caffeine in it. It's just perfect. I recommend the bubblegum flavor. It's delicious. SwiftLifestyles.com. Coach Steve Show, all one word. You're going to get 15% off your order. Help support the podcast. Go do it. Let's get that energy back. And speaking of energy, we need the energy for this topic. I need all the energy I need to take for this. I've done a couple where on is not the best ever. I do a couple things where Michael Jordan is the best. I did my own tribute to Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. We are coming up on that, which is unbelievable. It's been, so long since that horrific crash. We lost Kobe Bryant and his daughter and the people on the plane. But I do recall seeing something, whether it was today or the other day, about Kobe Bryant and the disrespect to Kobe Bryant and playing. We're going to be all over the place today. All over the place today. And I apologize, but we're going to be all over the place with this topic. That's why I'm telling Kobe Bryant is better than LeBron James. And I'm live on Colorcast, so check out Colorcast as well. It's only for Apple, but it's working for Android. There's just so many things with Android and stuff that they have to get through because there's different versions. With Apple, there's one version because they're all on the same type of iOS. And Android, there's different softwares. It's an app where you can, commentate on games. You can have podcasts. You can have topics. There's hot takes and all that. Like right now I'm doing a podcast episode live on there. So I put Kobe, I put Mamba, and then the greater than, like eating towards him, and then LeCarron, because LeCarron, I think it's funny. But I saw somewhere this disrespect of Kobe Bryant, and then I'm seeing things about LeBron James that just annoy me, and so I'm putting a poll out there for if Kobe Bryant's better than LeBron James. So we're going to find my poll here real quick. The first poll I put out there said, who is better, Kobe Bryant or LeBron James? As of right now, 62 votes, 63% say Kobe Bryant, 37% say LeBron James. Well, then I've had some lovely people comment. And one of the things that I don't understand is I had a person on here respond saying LeBron, and I don't even know how it's debatable. Look at the numbers. LeBron by a landslide. Then says Kobe is not top 10. What? What are you smoking? Have you lived under a rock? Do you watch cricket more than basketball? Where the hell does that come from? So I don't know how to respond. I have to take a deep breath. I put a GIF of Doctor Strange when, MJ saying this is your fault. And he goes, that little shocked face. So then he goes on to say he was a one-time MVP. So only best player in the league once. No way he can be the GOAT discussion. First of all, and I could be wrong, and people could tell me if I'm wrong. MVP, does that mean you're the best player in the league? Which sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Let's define what does MVP mean? Okay. It talks about being the most valuable player. Okay. Someone who's playing very well. We're going to see that. That does not mean you're the best player in the league. Because here's what happens. I will say that some have won the MVP and they say they're better than LeBron, which is that's not that true. So if we look up, does winning MVP mean you are the best player? MVP stands for most valuable player. It's an award usually given to a player on the team who is overall considered the team's best teammate, whether that means they're the best athlete, the most supportive, the most helpful, etc. That's what they define as MVP is. So I don't know if MVP necessarily means that you're the best ever. Now you can certainly make that distinction. So for this person, see, I'm jumping. See, I'm going. I had an order. We're going to go all over. To say he's the best, what? Okay, didn't win the MVP, and they won a championship. Okay, so again, I don't know how. I don't want to respond through that. Whatever. I knew right then and there I was going to do a podcast and get this all out there. So I did another GIF of like this. It was, he just goes confused. Then he does one saying, oh, hell yeah. So he thinks he won. So I said, winning 5 titles doesn't matter. He said, oh, they do. But he was only the best player on the team for 2 of those. The other 3, Shaq won him. Okay, we'll get to that. So I said, so if you take Kobe Bryant off that team, they win the championships. We'll get to that. He said, probably if you replace him with someone of equal salary. What the hell does equal salary mean, you jackass? It says in 1999, Shaq averaged 38 and 16. 2001, skipped a year, 36 and 12. And I see he went backwards. He said in 1999, he averaged 38 and 16. And then 2001, 36 and 12. And then 2000, averaged 33 and 6. So yes, would have won without him. Okay, and we'll get to averages. So then I didn't have the exact averages on me. I know some of them by heart, some I just know a range. I said, so Kobe averaging 23 to 30 points a game in that 3 to 4 year span means nothing, huh? Especially in the playoffs. Oh, no, it makes total sense. Then responds to this, and I just didn't have time. I mean, if you replace him with someone making the same money as him say Paul Pierce, Glenn Robinson, Ray Allen, and yes, absolutely, they still win. Shaq was the most dominant player in the league. In 1999, Kobe averaged 15, easily replaceable. Well, I don't believe they won in 99. I think they won in 2000, 2001. Okay. So he's going by salary. So right now, I can tell this is not an intelligent conversation to be had when you're talking about salary. Salary means diddly shit. So let's just get that out there right now. Just that doesn't matter. So you're talking about salary when you're talking about if Kobe's good, Kobe's not. The one MVP, whatever, yes, that's a little bit of a knock. But we're talking about, let's just talk about it all then. Don't talk about salary. Don't sit there and say Shaq would have won them from Kobe. I am telling you right now, you take Kobe off that team, they don't win a championship. Maybe one, maybe, but Kobe saved them in some games. Well, Shaq fouling out. How do you win through the regular season? So the argument of Shaq won those. Yes, was he one of the most dominating forces we ever seen in that span of time? Absolutely he was. Nobody's arguing that. But Kobe averaged points too. Kobe did things for that team too. Crispy, thank you. Give me Kobe over anybody, any day, anytime, any place. Absolutely. I think it's got to be him and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. I got to put Kareem up there. I've got to put Magic up there. But you give those guys over LeBron James, in my opinion. Again, people go back to the LeBron thing of, earlier, let's go to another, tweet at me and see if I can find them. There was a lot of them. See if I can find it. Pretty crystal clear LeBron is head and shoulders ahead in every statistical category there is. In a sport where the object is to shoot the ball through the hoop, LBJ is a 50% plus shooter for a career. Kobe never did that in one season. LeBron carried teams to 4 titles, Kobe 2. So what do you define the other 3? Well, Shaq carried that team, blah, blah, blah. Again, you take Kobe off that team, they don't win the championship. Now, I do apologize because this is live. You're going to hear a chocolate lab. I don't care. I'm all over the place. LeBron, yes, Crispy. I mean, LeBron, nice. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to a clutch moment and my team needed the bucket to win, Kobe, yes, I agree. And everybody who's anybody besides the LeBron shoe cleaners, I'm sure that the Shannon Sharps and Nick Wrights of the world live with LeBron. I'm pretty sure they do. People like that will say that LeBron is clutch. Yes, Kobe took a lot of late game opportunities, but if you watched The Last Dance and saw how Michael Jordan led the team, he was that type of person that said, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it my damn self. And that's exactly how Kobe was. And I'm tired. I am sick and tired of the narrative of, well, LeBron led the team to X amount of finals. That means he's better than Kobe. He's better than Michael Jordan. When did just getting there mean something? Now, is it impressive? Yes. But to me, that can't. Okay, you're going to be a part of that conversation. If he led them to that many finals, that makes him better. So you're dismissing Dwayne Wade, you're dismissing Chris Bosh, you're dismissing Birdman, you're dismissing Kyrie Irving, you're dismissing Anthony Davis because LeBron did it. Well, you're telling me that Shaq had to do it. Well, LeBron had to do it. Well, what about the guys that are helping him get there? All that stuff. Okay, we want to talk about getting to finals. Michael got there 6 times and won it 6 times. Kobe got there quite a few times, okay? They had their 3-peat, got to the 4th, they didn't win. Okay. Then he got there with the Boston Celtics. Well, against the Boston Celtics the first time, didn't win. Then got there again and beat Orlando. Got there again and beat the Celtics. Okay. Pretty good odds to me. So you get to about 7 finals. You won 5. Sounds pretty good to me. Right. Crispy, you are 100% right here on Colorcast. He says, if you're Kobe's teammate and you were off, he wasn't passing you the ball. No, dang ball. He took care of business. Yes. Michael and Kobe just said, if you are struggling, Yes, maybe during the game they'll find a way to help you, like try to create something, but at the same time, if they don't want to pass you the ball, you're not doing too hot, or at the end of the game when it matters, they're going to say, nope, you're off tonight. You're not playing up to my standards. We're done. What are we talking about here? So I'm tired of the finals thing. I'm tired of this. So I'm just so tired of those things. I'm just so tired of it. You know what I mean? Okay. So they want to talk about Shaquille O'Neal carrying the finals. Okay. So we're going to look at 2000, the very first title. Okay. We're going to talk about Kobe here first. His postseason stats, he was 21.1 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, 4.4 assists, and 1.5 steals a game. Okay. To me, those are decent numbers in a finals. Okay. They defeated the Kings 3-2, defeated the Suns 4-1, defeated the Blazers 4-3. Okay. So 3-2 versus the Kings. You take Kobe off that team, you think Shaq would help with that close of it. Suns, they dominate 4-1. Defeat the Blazers 4-3. Took that late. I wonder if Shaq would have done that without Kobe, able to pull off those wins. Close one. Then they beat the Pacers 4-2. Okay. So then we go to 2001. His postseason stats. 29.4 points a game, 7.3 rebounds per game, 6.1 assists per game, and 1.6 steals per game. He and Shaq, that was a great, phenomenal year. But you're telling me right now, we're not talking about the regular season, we're talking about, okay, maybe Shaq could help them get to the postseason. But here's another thing about Shaq, you dimwits. He was on the Orlando Magic and had Penny Hardaway. Yeah, they got to a finals. They were good, but didn't win a championship. And people think that the moment Shaq got to LA that they started winning championships. No, he got there when Kobe was drafted. It took a couple of years for them to win a title. Kobe was a rookie. Shaq was not small, but he wasn't, the big muscle guy that he was when he was dominant. So people think that Shaq got there immediately and they won championships. But those are the people that don't know anything because they want to make assumptions, just like the media today, because they want to say one thing without really looking to it on the other. Yes, I'm a little fired up. I'm a big Kobe fan. If you guys watch the video version of the podcast, I got the picture right there. I have a painting thing of Kobe Bryant here. That may stay up forever. So then we go to 2002 when they complete their three-peat. 26.6 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 4.6 assists per game, and 1.4 steals per game. Now, people are going to talk about LeBron stats and all that shit. But this is talking about the argument that Shaq carried it. Now, Shaq averaged a lot. Okay? Shaq averaged a lot. If we look at the 1999-2000 NBA Finals, he averaged 38, 16, 2.3 assists, and 1 steal. That's fantastic. 2000-2001 NBA Finals, he averaged 33 and 15 and 4. Very good. Then that 2001-2002, he averaged 36, 12, and 3. Great. But here's my problem. You take Kobe off that team and they have closer games like that when they're only winning, 4-3, the 4-2. A couple of times he gets in foul trouble. Then you talk about the free throw percentages and all that, and he played a lot of minutes. Imagine, so right here, he averaged. We're just talking about the Lakers finals. He averaged 45 minutes, 45.5 minutes, 45 minutes, 41.5 minutes. Then the one they lost, he averaged 26.6 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 1 assist. He averaged 42 minutes. And that was where, Kobe and he were butting heads and all that stuff and, whatever it was. But I'm telling you, you take those Kobe stats off, maybe they win one, maybe, but they don't win. I really don't know if they do at all. I don't even know. They would maybe one, but there's no way they win 3 at all. So I'm sick and tired of hearing that. Sick and tired of it. Okay. So then the one that he won without Shaq in 2009, 30.2 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, 5.4 5.5 assists per game, 1.7 steals. Beat the Jazz 4-1, defeat the Rockets 4-3, the Nuggets 4-2, Magic 4-1. Now, he lost one, but the one I found is just showing the ones he won. 2010, his last one, 29.2 points per game, 6 rebounds a game, 5.5 assists per game, 1.3 steals per game. Defeat the Thunder 4-2, Jazz 4-0, Suns 4-2, Celtics 4-3. Okay, so Kobe still averaged decent numbers. Okay, so, but I'm just going to defend here with the idiot. No offense, I guess, but you got me fired up talking about numbers. But you take him off, they don't win those bad boys. You understand what I'm saying? Do we get it? Shaq did good, but not like that. Ain't like that. Like, my blood is boiling. And then people want to say, so then what else gets me fired up is the great idiot sportscaster journalist I've ever probably encountered, and was Nick Wright. Like, people share this, or I find it. Yes, he works really hard. I just don't know how he has a job in sports at all. I'm sure he works hard, and I respect the hustle. I respect it. But he is just a LeBron lover through and through, and I can appreciate the consistency. But this is a guy that tweeted before that he wants Kobe Bryant to do bad, and then God rest his soul, when Kobe passed away in the horrific crash, it's too late. Then this guy comes on and says, I didn't appreciate Kobe until he was gone, and I'm watching the highlights, and I'm watching the old games, and how good he was. Shut the hell up. It is too late. We know how you feel about Kobe Bryant. Shut the hell up. We are done with it. How do you have a job in sports? I don't understand. I'm going to find the freaking tweets for him. Okay. Lakers aren't doing so hot with LeBron. Anthony Davis has been out. You have Russell Westbrook that is a stat machine that worries about his stats, just like LeBron. So right here, LeBron, he tweets, LeBron didn't get player of the month because the tweet was NBA players of the month, December. Jazz's Donovan Mitchell, and then 76ers Joel Embiid. LeBron didn't get player of the month. Donovan in December, 29-3, 5-1, 0 on 48-38 splits. He missed 2 games. LeBron in December, he was 31, 9, 7, 2, and 1 on 56/40 splits and missed 0 games. So LeBron averaged more points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, and was more efficient. Then he tweets again. LeBron just averaged 31, 9, and 7 on 56/40 in a month where he turned 37 and didn't miss a single game, and can't even get a measly player of the month award. He's also averaged 38, 12, and 7 on 57/50 splits last week and didn't win player of the week. Sad! Explanation point. Okay, first of all, this is how much deeper you're going to dig into the hole, that you have to sit there and say that player of the month means something. Who gives a shit about what that means? You're just trying to dig to help, to be like, oh, LeBron needs this because LeBron's getting his, and you're trying to, gaslight and try to hide the fact that I believe the Lakers are 6-8 during that time. The Lakers are still at 7 or 8 in the West. They're not winning. Stats are great, but we've seen that with like a Russell Westbrook. When he does do well, sometimes the teams win. Sometimes he gets his stats and they don't do well. Kobe, during a couple years there when they were getting the 7 or 8 seed, Kobe tried to figure out how to be a leader. He got his. He scored 81 in the game. He was scoring over 30-some points a game. And they got to the playoffs that way. But then he had to figure out how to lead him up, which is what he did later on. You can get the stats all you want and look great. But do player of the months actually mean something in the NBA? When did that happen? So you're just trying to hide the fact that they're not winning. But then it becomes, well, he's got no help. And that's another thing that he does. He and Shannon Sharps of the world, well, look at the play. Look what LeBron's doing. He's averaging whatever and doing this and doing that, and the players aren't doing enough. Well, then LeBron, if you're the leader and you're the quote unquote the best player on the planet, then you've got to figure it out. Maybe you scoring 38 points a game doesn't help. Maybe you figure out how to get them involved. Even Kobe during the teams that he had that were bad, when he had like Smush Parker at point guard and this and that, and players that we don't even know, can't even remember all their names, figured out a way to get them to the playoffs, which LeBron might, probably will, could. But without Anthony Davis, he's not doing too hot. Didn't do how when he first got to the Lakers, when he was supposed to lead them. So here's what happens. They get there. They're going to do well just immediately because he's on the floor. Then they don't make the playoffs. Then they get Anthony Davis and a couple other players, and all of a sudden they start doing okay because now they got to worry about both. When he was on the Heat, well, we got to worry about Dwayne Wade, who's really good. He's the third best shooting guard besides Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. So you got to worry about him. You got to worry about Chris Bosh, who can shoot and post up. You got to worry about Birdman on defense. You got to worry about Chalmers, who can actually dribble and drive to the basket. Then you got to worry about Ray Allen kicking out for the shot to beat the Spurs. All that stuff. I'm going to have an aneurysm. So you got idiotic tweets like that. You're digging real deep if you've got to say he's got to get the player of the month. Look at what he's averaging. How do you have a job in sports? I don't understand. The only good thing about him working in sports gives me hope that this will turn into something, because if a guy like him can do that, I can do it. Then it becomes, well, Pau Gasol won them for him. Don't put Pau Gasol's name in the same thing with Shaq. Pau Gasol averaged 17, 10, and 3 in the NBA Finals. Kobe averaged way more. Now, did Pau Gasol help? Yes. But LeBron, then, oh, well, LeBron won the finals for them. Well, do you remember when they lost to the Mavericks, when they just had Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Kidd? Well, he beat Kevin Durant. Well, Kevin Durant was what? 21 years old, 23 years old, whatever it was, very young. You had Dwayne Wade and all them, like I've already said. Yeah, you beat the Spurs, but you had to beat them on a last-second shot. Who missed the shot before? Who missed the shot before Ray Allen? Oh, LeBron did. Okay. Just checking. Then LeBron will also boast about himself. Like at the table, he's holding the microphone. I'm just the best player in the world. It's fine because I'm the best player in the world. It's just that simple. Then now maybe behind doors, Kobe and Michael said things like that. But in there, they would say, Michael always talked about how the people before him, how good they were to lay the foundation for him. Kobe would say the same thing. Shaquille O'Neal, for the most part, says that as well. But he wants to boast. Then he complains. Then he talks about, I won the hardest titles ever. I do give him credit coming back, being down 3-1 or whatever it was. Do give credit, but you have to give credit to Kyrie Irving as well, who was scoring 40, 50 points. But then he wants to complain about being in the bubble in Orlando. Oh, my God, we're stuck in a hotel. Oh, my God, the food. When people out there didn't have food, when people out there didn't have money, when people out there didn't have air conditioning and maybe not even an apartment or a home. And you're complaining about certain food you're getting. Plug in the Xbox, plug in the PS2. Oh, my God, we're stuck in a hotel for a month or two. We're not playing in front of fans, but I'm making millions of dollars. Shut up. Remember when Kobe's team was up? I think they were up 3-1 or 3-0 or something, and the reporters were asking him about it. And he goes, no, don't talk about it being done. We're not done yet. Like, that's a leader. He'd also give respect to other people before him. And then just toughness. Kobe tore his ACL, or his Achilles, excuse me. Kobe tore his Achilles, walked to shoot his free throws, made both, refused to be carried off and walked off. LeBron got a cramp and thought he died. He's a shot in the leg. Kobe also broke his nose and came back in. He had so many broken fingers. He had knee issues. He had, all that stuff. If you read the book Showboat, it goes way into Kobe's life, and you're going to learn about some of the injuries he had. And then he wanted to play in front of everybody as much as possible. LeBron claims to not load manage, but doesn't make it a point to talk about the fans. And then we got the China thing, which we won't get into. But damn, there's so many ways that Kobe was better. So many ways. Kobe was a 5-time champion, 2-time scoring leader. He had an MVP, 2 Finals MVPs, 15 NBA All Teams, 12-time All Defensive Team, first team. LeBron doesn't do first team defense because he hasn't played defense. He plays defense when he wants. Okay. Kobe understood that you have to play defense. Slam dunk champion, 26 50-point games, 6 60-point games, 2 Olympic medals, 1 81-point game. Like, he's the Lakers' all-time leading scorer, played all of the seasons at the Lakers. Then the trainer for Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Dwayne Wade, Tim Grover, had written a book called Relentless. And he talks about being a cleaner. Okay. So let's talk about what being a cleaner is. A true cleaner this isn't the quite definition. A true cleaner tells you what he's doing, never tells you what he's doing or what he's planning. You find out after the job is complete. Cleaners understand they don't have to love the work to be successful. They just have to be relentless about achieving it, and everything else in between is diverse and distraction from the ultimate prize. These are just different quotes out of there, but talks about being a cleaner. It's going to do whatever it takes to get the job done. And he also said LeBron is not a cleaner. Not a cleaner. So when you've got the trainer for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade telling you that he's not the best, I'd listen. I would listen. Cleaners never feel external pressure. They only believe what's inside them. You can criticize, analyze, demonize a cleaner, but he's still only going to feel pressure from within. He knows what he's doing right and what he's doing wrong. He does not care what you think. He steps out of his comfort zone and challenges himself to get to the next level. Like, those are just different quotes about who a cleaner is. Cleaner law: surround yourself with those who want you to succeed, who recognize what it takes to be successful. People who do not pursue their own dreams probably will never encourage yours. You'll just tell every negative thing about themselves. A cleaner's attitude can be summed up in 3 words: I own this. He walks in with confidence and leads with results. A cleaner has the guts and the vision to steer everything to his advantage. Those are just different quotes from Tim Grover in his book, Relentless. Okay. People can talk about LeBron scoring these points and everything else. Okay. But there's reasons, not excuses. There's reasons. Kobe, like I said, got hurt a lot. Okay. Michael Jordan had some injuries too. Kobe had gotten hurt a couple times. He won the 2 titles without Shaq, but Shaq wouldn't have won them without Kobe. Even Shaq tells you that. Okay. If Kobe talks about how he and Shaq playing together and the team got the championships, talk about Shaq and Kobe, he'll say the same thing. LeBron won't sit there and say the things about Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, won't say things about Kyrie Irving, won't say things like that about Anthony Davis. And if LeBron's so good, why does he lost all the finals? The excuse becomes, well, look at the numbers. LeBron knows if he gets the numbers, that can be used against the team if they don't win. Nick Wrights and Shannon Sharps of the world understand that. What about when LeBron quit against the Boston Celtics and walked off the court, didn't shake hands, and just was like, I'm done, see ya. Made a skeptical and a joke about Cleveland when he was going to Miami. Okay. Then he comes back home and then leaves again. And, there's a reason why Kyrie didn't want to play with him. There's a reason why Kevin Durant didn't go. Maybe he's not that good of a teammate. Maybe they don't think he wants to be a cleaner and win and all that stuff. Like, do you understand? Kobe, better shooter, just took a lot of shots. Kobe could score when he wanted to. Kobe could pass when he wanted to. Kobe would play defense. He played defense on LeBron James. He stole the ball a couple of times. Factual evidence. Kobe Bryant is a better basketball player than LeBron James. LeBron James has played a long time, and you got to give him credit. He stayed healthy for the most part. Just too many other things. Too many things said in the media. Too many things he's posted that are, questionable. Too many things he said about how good he is. I'm the king. Well, I'm the best there is. It's that simple. Yeah, they didn't say that. Now they might have said it off camera, which fine, whatever. We say things off, way. So what? Don't say it on there for us to do. Quit making excuses for LeCarron, who complains a lot. He's a flopper. You put him in the 80s, 90s, beginning 2000s, LeBron would probably quit. He does not play defense unless he wants to. Don't tell me about the block in the game of the finals. I could care less. Kobe knew, and Michael Jordan knew, in order to be good, in order to help your team win, you had to lay it all out there. You had to play defense and then turn around after you just exhaust all energy on defense to be back on offense and play as well on offense. Understand the game and knew, okay, I'm getting older. I've got to adjust this. I know this. I've got to adjust this. Also understood. Michael understood. Yeah, he was scoring a lot. Who remembers? Go watch the documentary. But us Michael Jordan fans already knew he was scoring all those points. And he and Phil Jackson had a heart-to-heart saying, maybe we got to do things different. And guess what? He did. Kobe scored a lot at the beginning. And then when Shaq left, had to go through that pain later on. Kobe just had a different way. He had similar path-ish of Michael Jordan in that aspect. But then had to figure that out and figured out, man, I'm scoring 30-some points a month. During these months, I'm scoring 37 points a game or whatever it was. It was ridiculous. And we're not winning as much as we need to. Now we're getting into the playoffs, but we're not winning as much. So what happened? What do I need to do? Figured it out. Right now, LeBron, going to year 19 or whatever the hell it is, needs to figure out. You're scoring this points, but that's great, but you're not winning. Don't say, well, the teammates suck. You got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. So I don't understand, well, look at the numbers. But then when Anthony Davis shows up, well, then finally admit to me, LeBron James fans, that he's not going to win by himself. If you admit that to me, everything's going to be fine. But you don't. You won't say it. You dance around it, but then you don't help your case out when you say, well, look, he's doing this, but they're not winning. But then as soon as you get that player back or two, you start winning. Well, then it's probably about those two players. Just please, just come back to earth. I'll forgive you. Come back to earth. Have conversations. Admit how good Kobe Bryant was. Don't be like the idiot Nick Wright who, I didn't appreciate it after I did. Shut up. Okay. Admit that Kobe's good. Admit that Michael Jordan's really good. Yeah, these are the top 5. Fine. That's what you want to hear me say. But damn, man. But yes, Kobe Bryant's better. Whew. Man, that was really frustrating. Got a little heated there, but it's all right. It's all right. But yeah. Whew. All right, guys. Thanks for listening so much. Please check out all the affiliates in the description below. Please go check out Colorcast. You got to get on that. Go check out all the other stuff with Belly Up, Growing Network, Media Network, Sports Network, Everything Network. Go check all that stuff out. Like and subscribe to the channel. Be a friend, tell a friend, follow it wherever you listen to your podcast. Stay tuned. Might be doing something else with the podcast. Well, I'm just trying to debate with myself. Go check out the weekly episodes. And remember, Kobe Bryant is better than LeBron James. And until next time, this is Coach Steve. Been another episode of the Coach Steve Show podcast, and we are out of here. We will see you on the next one.
Mm-hmm.